After the events of Infinity War and Endgame, he is a very different person. He's been through a lot, something that none of us can really relate to. And Spider-Man, to him, has become a bit of a chore. You know, he decides to sort of hang up the suit and go on holiday and enjoy his time with his friends and just be a young adult and be someone who's